accent, right? She was American accent. So, being as I said, I am one to make trouble, I did go to Rick Berman's office and knock on his door and say, excuse me, I thought I was doing the Betazoid accent, but obviously I'm not, because Majel is American. And of course, by this time, we're well into the filming. They're rewriting scripts constantly. They're really busy. They're casting, they're editing, they're doing all this stuff. And the last thing they want is Marina Sirtis knocking on their door, being a pain in the butt, right? So Rick Berman, I know all he wants to say to me really is shut up and get out of my office. But he has to come up with an answer, and he goes, well, you know what? It was your father's accent. It's your father's accent. And I said, really? Because I don't believe that, because obviously my relationship or Deanna's relationship with Roxana was kind of identical to my relationship with my own mom, God rest her soul. Actually, God rest both of those souls. And I knew that they had lived in the same house. That was why there was so much friction, you know. So he was like, no, it's your father's accent and go away. Well, then I think it was season 6 or season 7, I don't remember, they've all kind of blended together at this point. Dark Page, where we met my dad, who was from Iowa or somewhere. And I just had to. I know we were coming to the end of the series, but I had to go back to Rick Berman's office. I just did, you know. So I knocked on the door. Rick, you told me back in season 1 that I was doing my father's accent, but actually we've met Dad now, and he doesn't have an accent. And Rick is like ready to throttle me. He's just like, really? This is the conversation that we're having? And he goes, they sent you away to school, okay? Shut up and get out of my office. But you will notice when you watch, I know you watch the shows, when you watch the show, the accent got kind of more Americanized over the years. You know, by the end she was almost on Ellis Island. She was just like coming into Ellis Island to become an American person. So anyway, that was the story of the accent. And now we can have questions. And if we don't have questions, this is going to be a really short afternoon. And I can go watch my tennis. Okay, yes.
What was it like working on the Family Guy episode where...
You know, when we did Gargoyles, did you all?
Yeah.
When we did Gargoyles, those particular people at Disney are great, and I still work for them because I do a show. I'm recurring on a show called Young Justice.
Yeah.
And I'm Queen Bee. I'm always evil when I work for these people. It's a stretch, I know. But anyway, when we were doing Gargoyles, we would all be in the room together, and we would do it like a radio play, and it was really a lot of fun. It was like, first of all, it was like a Star Trek reunion, right? There were so many of us in it. And second of all, you get a chance to actually hear the way the other person's saying the line and respond to it. And I think it's better, to be honest. But who am I to argue with Seth MacFarlane, right? He does them, you go in one at a time. Which is the way they do most animation now. You go and you sit in a little booth on your own and you just do your lines. And I don't like it as much. It's not fun. You know, it's not fun. It's just like, you know. So I wish that whole, I don't know if they do all the show. I mean, the only difference was when I did the Cleveland show for him, where I was playing a Greek prostitute, me and Arianna Huffington, actually, playing Greek prostitutes, and because they knew I could speak Greek and I had to speak Greek in this. We actually did a table read where we all got together before we actually recorded the show and read it through, you know, together, and so we got to meet everybody else on the show. But again, when we did the actual, you know, thing, we were on our own. So that's not as much fun, and that's why I'm not really a big fan. I don't love doing voiceovers, actually. It's not my favourite thing to do. In all, like a listing of like theatre, TV, movies, blah, 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 I think voiceover is my least favourite thing to do.
Have you seen that episode though, where have you seen it all the way through? Or
I haven't seen it at all, no. I tend not to watch myself, actually. You know, I know me. You know, and I don't really watch myself that much. If I do watch myself, I've got to be on my own. Unless, of course, it's at a premiere where you're sitting with the audience. But generally, I like to watch myself on my own because I find it really embarrassing to watch with other people. And my husband really isn't interested in watching me on TV. Like, I don't go and see him play anymore. Like, I've heard it, I've heard all the songs before, honey. You know. You're great on stage, fantastic. Knock yourself out. I'll be watching the soccer. Bye. You know, that's what I do. You guys watch Star Trek. I watch soccer and tennis and American football. I'm a dude. I'm a jock. Yes. My husband keeps saying to his friends, "I'm married to a dude." Because I married the only guy who doesn't watch sports, right? So I'm watching sports, and but for every other man in America, I'm the perfect woman. Because I watch sports, I'm a great cook, like really great cook, and I've got big boobs. Right? Perfect woman. Okay, question, next question. Yes, oh, go. Put your hands up so I don't just yell at me. Okay, yes. Whoopi and I didn't work together that much because she was me behind the bar, right? She was the barmaid, you know, the kind of sensitive barmaid who gave advice, and that was my job. So we tended not to be in the episodes at the same time, but the few times that we were on the set together, one of the funniest people on the planet. She really is. We went to one of her weddings. It was fantastic. She got married at her house in Malibu, and of course, you know, it was like the wedding in Saigon, right? The helicopters all around trying to get pictures, and she's so smart. She had sent some workers up to her rooftop, and they had written "F off" right? On the roof of the house, so they couldn't film it. But it was great. But it was. I don't think she'd been married again. I think that was her last wedding. I don't think she's been married again since then. Anyway, yeah. I just want to get on The View because I love The View. My husband in the morning is going, how can you watch those women cackling at 10 o'clock in the morning? And I'm like, yeah, but it's great. Women cackle. It's fantastic. Because I love Joy Behar. I love her. And I hate Elizabeth Hasselbeck. I want to go on The View just so I can punch Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Actually, I met Joy in a lounge, in one of the airport lounges at LAX about 6 months ago. And I'm one of those people who just goes up and says, "Hi, I'm Marina Sirtis. I'm a big fan of yours. I don't care if they know me or not. You know, I just go and talk to them." And I was with Brent, actually. We were going to a convention in San Francisco. And Brent's going, "Oh, Marina, don't." And I'm like, "Come on, Brent, let's go and say hello." And so we talked to her for a while. And she was really sweet. But I said, "So what do you think of Elizabeth?" And she didn't say anything. So, anyway, next question. Yes?
Gargoyles on 3, is that going to be coming out? And I didn't know how did the transition from all the Star Trek go to Gargoyles? I mean, when Brent's on there, Jonathan Frakes.
Well, basically, I don't know if it's coming out in 3D. I have no idea. I have Disney tell me even less than Paramount and CBS. They don't tell us anything. So I don't know. Where have you been? You're very late.
I know I am. I wasn't.
Where have you been? You just came? You just got here?
From the hotel.
From this hotel?
Yeah. No.
No, another hotel.
Another hotel.
Well, I know there wasn't traffic.
Now you should see this place when all the wall Martians are trying to get to work.
What's that?
You should see this place when all the wall Martians are trying to get to work.
The wall Martians? Is that what you call them? The wall Martians? I like that. Because Walmart is the devil, right? Yeah. I know you all work for Walmart, but we don't. You do. We wouldn't allow Walmart to be built in LA. We don't have a Walmart. Not in LA. Not in for miles where I live. You have to drive for about 45 minutes to find a Walmart. Well, you know, little shop people who go on their own businesses. Walmart's killing them, you know.
That's right.
Do they give benefits at Walmart?
Yes.
They do? You're a woman, right? Yes. What did you think of that whole class action thing with the women up against Walmart?
I agreed with it for the most part. Some of it was a bunch of bunk, others of it.
But generally women aren't advanced at Walmart as much as men, and
Here lately they have been.
because they got in trouble, right?
They got caught.
Yeah.
They got what? They got caught. Bastards. So, and the gargoyles thing. We just, we auditioned. But they were huge fans of TNG, obviously. And so, you know, we auditioned. They didn't just offer us the jobs, we auditioned. In fact, when I was originally, I'm always getting switched when I audition. I was originally auditioning for the part of Alyssa. And then I read the copy, and then they said, you know what, there's another part we think you might be more right for, but we don't have the copy with us today. Would you come back tomorrow and read the other part? And the other part was Demona. So when I got the job, and I was talking to Greg and Jamie, and I said, so who else did you audition for Demona? He said, well, you were the first person, and then we didn't audition anybody else. So I decided to take it as a compliment, only because, you know, I'm thinking that was how evil I am. That I have to audition anybody else. But I'll take it as a compliment. Next question. Yes, sir.
Of all the movies and TV shows and theaters you did, what's your favorite?
Well, you know, TNG is my favourite basically because of the people that I work with. You know, it's our 25th anniversary of when we started next year. I was 12 when we started. I just look really old for my age. But we are still best friends, 25 years later. That is unheard of in Hollywood. I mean, for 2 years, we were opposite, you know, when we overlapped with DS9, we were literally opposite each other across the street from on the lot. We were on 8 and 9, and they were on 17 and 18, and they were literally right across the street. And I would leave my set, and it was like a kindergarten at recess, right? It was noisy, they were shouting, or not yelling, but loud, you know, loud talking, and a lot of singing on my set. We had very musical cast, right? Just laughing. We laughed non-stop for 7 years. And then I would go visit Terry Farrell at DS9, she's one of my best friends, and I'd go over there and I would go, did someone die? Because it was like someone had died over there. It was so quiet and deathly silence. And of course, they had inherited our crew, you know, the technical crew. And so they all knew me, and they would be happy to see me. They would be happy to see anybody from TNG, right, over there. And gradually, as they came to say hi and, you know, come to see, it would get noisier and noisier and noisier on the DS9 set. And the directors would go, who just came on the set? Who just came on the set? Oh, might have known it was you, Marina, you know. But it was horrible over there. I think on Voyager, it was a little bit better, until Jerry Ryan came on the show and Kate imploded. But apart from that, I told you I'd tell you the truth. And then Enterprise. Who watched Enterprise? Bless your hearts. The 4 of you kept it on the air. And they were so... No, it was, you know, they just went to the well once too often, I thought, with Enterprise. It was just too much. They'd run out of stories, they'd run out of, you know, everything. And I kind of feel sorry for the cast, because I think they signed on thinking that they would do 7 years like everybody else, and kind of planned financially for that, and then of course it didn't happen. So I do kind of feel bad for them, and I'm very good friends with some of them. I mean, Connor and Dominic, you know, I really like. I see Scott Bakula a lot of places. He's a really cool guy. He never stops working. You don't have to worry about him, right? He never stops. But the rest of them are having a bit of a hard time. But so if you see him in anything, do watch, because, you know, they were kind of unlucky in the Star Trek thing. Yes, young lady.
So was it interesting working with Maytel Barrett, who was a veteran from the original show?
Well, you know, she actually, although it didn't air as episode 3, we shot Haven as episode 3. It was the 3rd episode that we shot. And we were a bit worried, because literally from day one, we were just laughing and misbehaving. I mean, we had one director in the first season who directed 2 episodes, and then he refused to ever come back. Because we were too rowdy. So that was, you know, and it doesn't, I've never heard of that happening before, that a director would refuse to work on a show because the actors are too rowdy. But, so we were a bit worried. We were like, uh-oh, boss's wife. maybe we're going to have to behave for one episode.